Alright, so we've all been waiting for the next big update in Blue Lock Rivals. And instead of getting a crazy new style or some broken meta rework like we saw before with Domain Nel Rin, the devs are doing something different this time. We're getting something called a QOL update, and no, it's not a character or a banner. It stands for Quality of Life, which basically means the game is getting a huge polish. Think of it like this: rebalances, fixes, improvements, everything that makes the game smoother, fairer, and honestly more enjoyable to play. So in this video, I'll go over what's confirmed, what's very likely, and then I'll give you 3 big guesses that I personally think might be coming, based on what the devs said and what the game needs right now. Trust me, you'll want to hear these. Let's start with what's actually confirmed. First of all, the devs said this update will include massive style rebalances. And we're not just talking about some tiny tweaks to 1 or 2 characters. It sounds like we could be getting adjustments to multiple classes, and I'm guessing even to the core mechanics of some characters. Also, remember that super annoying awakening bug? The one where your avatar just stands there like a frozen mannequin during the awakening cutscene? Yeah, hopefully getting fixed. No more silent T-posing while the effects go off around you. Thank you, devs. Now, speaking of broken things, the chemical reaction between Hiyori and Nel Isagi. If you've been using it, you know how busted it is. Right now, there's no cooldown, which means you can just spam the ability every time Isagi's lefty shot is ready. Totally unfair. That's getting adjusted too. There's also stuff we already know is coming, like the new showroom system and the revamped lobby UI, but I already talked about those in earlier videos. So let's focus on the fun part now: the theories and big predictions. Alright, my first guess is that we're going to get not just one, but multiple refresh styles. If you're a fan of Hiyori, you've probably been waiting for his rework forever, and it's about time. But the bigger surprise is Shidu, who actually won the official poll when the devs asked which style should be refreshed first. That's not speculation. Shidu won, and I really hope that means he's finally getting the refresh he deserves. Right behind him on that poll was Yukimiya, and honestly, I'd love to see him get some changes too. His animations are fire, and with a better toolkit, he could easily be one of the most fun characters in the game. As Miro once said, refresh is something mini, but surely not this mini. And I think he's right, and because the last time we had a refresh, it was actually for 2 characters, Gagamaru and Chigiri. Both got updated in the same patch. So don't be surprised if the devs drop multiple refreshes in this update as well. It just makes sense, especially with all the meta characters dominating right now. Also, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Domain Nel Rin. I think we all know by now. His domain skill is just way too strong. It breaks the flow of the game, makes other styles irrelevant, and turns matches into who uses domain first. So yeah, I'm calling it now. He's getting nerfed. If he doesn't, that'd be crazy. Meanwhile, Nel Isagi is confirmed to get a buff. We don't know exactly what it'll be. Maybe they'll improve his dash or give his direct shot more power, but he's already strong. So whatever buff he gets, he might become terrifying. Now here's my second big guess. And this one's personal because I actually mained Sae for a whole month. I think we're finally going to see the completion of Sae's style. Right now, Sae has potential, but his kit feels half-baked. Like the only reason he's even competitive is because of arm swipe. That's it. His awakening shot? Way too easy to block unless you're playing against AI. And his beautiful shot? Probably the weakest finisher in the game. You basically have to be inside the box to score with it. Now, if I remember correctly, and feel free to correct me in the comments, the devs plan to give him a new move called Divine Destruction, which was supposed to be a 3-step dribble combo. That sounds amazing, and I think it's finally time they added it. Personally, I'd also love to see them replace Beautiful Shot with something more true to the anime, like that tight angle shot Sae did during the U20 match. You know the one. He just cuts through defenders and shoots from an impossible angle. No curve, just clean technique. Don't get me wrong, I actually do like Beautiful Shot, and I've scored some nice goals with it. But let's be real, it doesn't look or feel like Sae's true playstyle. I want him to feel like Sae Itoshi, not just a random finisher with one arm swipe move. And now for my third guess, and I think this would be a smart move from the devs. I think refreshed styles will be reclassified into new or better class categories. Let me explain. Imagine they refresh Rio and give him a brand new variant. Let's say Mythic Rio, where he can copy world-class moves, but not at full strength. That would be such a cool mechanic and would reflect his actual ability in the story. Or take delayed Hiyori and finally give him a refresh that pushes him into legendary class. Kind of like how Otoya got his refresh and is now arguably legendary worthy. As of now, we only have 3 legendary styles. That's not a lot. And I think this update could be the perfect time to add more, either through style refreshes or by adjusting existing mythics and upgrading them based on popularity and viability. So yeah, this is a big opportunity for the devs to really shake things up and make old styles feel fresh and competitive again. Oh, and before we wrap this up, I actually wanted to highlight one really thoughtful suggestion I saw in the official Discord. It came from a player who honestly seems to be thinking the same way I do. But they went even further, breaking things down in a clear and balanced way. So, big shout out to them, and I'd love to share their thoughts with you real quick. Here's what they said. Kaiser. Kaiser Impact should have more power speed, but less range. It's ridiculous how far yet slow that shot goes. Subjugation range and volley range should be nerfed for the forced pass mechanic. Banchus should require a player from the opposing team to be in front or beside the user, and Royal Root should not stun players with the ball. Only those without. Don Lorenzo. Golden Defense should honestly get a nerf, but not a huge one. Just a change that lets it be dribbled past if used to steal. It would still bypass iframes, and Lorenzo users would still be super relevant. They could still bait dribbles and block shots, passes, even awakening moves in some situations. Neil Isagi. He's okay right now, but could use a rework to feel more manga accurate without making him overpowered. A lot of people say he's trash or underwhelming, and while I think he's still usable, his base moveset doesn't really match what he does in the manga. Especially lefty shot, dash, and even true direct shot. Those should probably be changed or replaced. And they also mentioned ideas for Sae, domain NEL Rin, and more. But I've already talked about those earlier. Still, if you're curious, go check out the suggestions tab on the Discord one. It's worth reading. They ended their post by saying something I totally agree with. If we want to hope to balance the game at all, we have to consider every WC, not just one. Every single one of them could use some kind of tweak, whether big or small. This suggestion was made after analyzing each WC, and is just my opinion on how to make the game a little more playable for other styles without gutting the strong ones. And honestly, couldn't have said it better myself. So yeah, that's the full breakdown for the QOL update, plus some extra insight from the community. If you enjoyed this deep dive, or if you have your own thoughts on what should be changed, drop them in the comments. I always read them. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell. More videos are coming, and you won't want to miss them. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.